what y'all think. If you whatever the fuck you think you are. And until we own some shit, I'ma call it like it is. How you gonna be a man and we starving? Go ahead. You know? And you can walk by 5 different houses, ain't a man in either one of them motherfuckers. How we gonna be a man? How we gonna be African Americans? And we out here dying. We thugs and we niggas until we set this shit right. Trust me when I tell you that shit.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Welcome back to the Black Alpha Network, the home of foundational Black Americans, certified 100, certified Black society. We are in the building, in the place. Today, we got a special episode. I'm telling you right now, turn up the volume to the max. You hear it, and we're going to break it all the way down right here. This is real hip hop. This is foundational Black Americans, because y'all know everybody wants to run around and act like they created what we created, and that's a goddamn lie. So we're going to go ahead and put some of those stories to bed. But at the same time, we're going to plant that FBA flag right where it needs to be, and that's in front of everything that we create, because we are the only ones capable of doing it. So with that said, y'all know I got my family in the building. Yes, indeed. Y'all know both of these brothers right here. I've had the great opportunity of meeting these brothers, sitting down, chopping it up, especially about hip hop, especially about the game on spaces, in person, at rallies and expos, all the way around the world. This is foundational Black American excellence. So first off, I want to bring up my family right here. Y'all know him as ASIS. This is my brother Sage and my brother Juan. What it is, what it do, man. How y'all doing?
What it is, what it is. What's up, what's up?
How's everything, family? Peace to the family. How's everyone doing tonight?
Yes, sir.
Man, let's get it, fam. Y'all know when it come down to, foundational Black Americans and everything that we do, everything that we talk about, everything that we break down, there's only one of us. There's not 4, 5, 6, not 7, 8, 9, not 10, 11, 12. There's only one foundational Black American family tree, and that goes all the way from entertainment, education, sports. We put it down. Y'all know we always win. Oh, shout out to our sister, Shakari Rickson. Shout out to her. She's holding it down.
Absolutely, absolutely. Couldn't be more proud of her.
And then, there's this thing now where a lot of people say that they created hip hop. There's a lot of people try to put their hands in the pot, but brothers like you are really putting that FBA flag where it needs to be, and that's right by our creation. But not just for the lineage, the heritage, and the culture, but also for the sound. Keeping it fresh, taking it to another level. So everybody out there listening right now, first and foremost, I need all of y'all to go ahead and go to Bogart Records right now, and y'all need to tap in, and y'all need to download, subscribe, stream every single thing that my brothers do. I'm telling you right now, ain't nothing like it. I got my people all the way up in Ohio rocking it. I got my people in Georgia, and I got my people in Florida rocking it. So it's FBA all the way across the board. But I want to start off and ask you guys, and I'll start with you, Juan. How long have y'all been working together, and what are some of the connections that you guys had musically? Because sometimes when we connect musically, it's not necessarily because we do the same thing. It could be two different dynamics. How y'all get together, brother, and then how this all set off?
Man, it started back in when we was in high school. We kind of met up. I was in a band. He was in a band. I was playing instruments. That's all I knew was instruments, reading and writing music. And Sage was a poet, and he was rapping. And we decided, maybe we should do something together, just for fun. Because we both creating. We hear every day. We see each other every day. So we just started creating. And next thing you know, we've been doing it ever since. I started, just banging on my mother's furniture. And, singing around the house, rapping around the house. And she was like, maybe you should get into instruments. Maybe you should learn something. You know what I'm saying? And then one thing led to the next. And then I'm here.
Man, I love that answer. Hey, y'all know the era we came up in, especially. It all started off banging. We a kitchen table, lunch table. I don't know how many times I got either, suspended into the principal's office or got in trouble for banging on that lunch table. But that's where the sound is created. FBA, they gave us lemons, we make lemonade. So we start off banging right here, then we turn it to the bigger aspect, and next we banging the beats. And I love what you said, brother, where you got the beat maker who's putting the real rhythm to it, and then you got the poet. And anytime in history those two things come together, it's always dynamic. Off the top of my head, I think of Gangstar. I think about Guru, DJ Premier. We can go down the list really, but I
Yeah.
start off with
Correct.
MVP. Said that, fam. That hit me all day long. That's one of my favorite groups. Shout out to my brother, man, because he's a super Gangstar fan. What about you, brother Sage? Same question. As you guys came up together, what are some of the dynamics you see that kind of put you on the same page?
So again, like my brother stated earlier, my brother was more on the production side. His idols were, you know, the Pharrells of the world, the Kanye West of the world, the Dr. Dre's of the world, the DJ Premiers of the world. You know, those were his idols growing up. My idols were mainly Tupac, Nas. Those are people I patent my, my sound, my music, my inspiration after. So I was always interested in the poetic aspect of hip hop, and getting messages across, but poetically, not just talking about guns and drugs. I mean, that's cool, but I don't necessarily want to bring that up within my music. I feel like there's enough music out there that's doing that. I came from the poetic aspect of it. I used to write poems for like women that I used to like back in the days, and my boy John, he inspired me to say, "Hey, why don't you put some of them poems on a beat? Because they already rhyme. So if you can put that on a beat, now you have a rhyme. So so that's basically how I did a lot of my beginning music. It was more like a love songs, more like very cheesy, but I was trying to find myself and my voice during that time. And then I linked up with my brother. We linked up. We met each other in high school, ninth grade. We linked up in the band. My brother was one of the best drummers, if not definitely top two best drummers in the whole entire school in the first year. And that's when I realized that they had a passion for just production and the writing came later for my brother. The writing actually came when we were in college because me and my brother was always tight, always friends, but we never really did music together until we were in college. And that's when we started like really, really doing music together and putting our heads together and creating something together. So that and that's when my brother started actually, writing alongside me, because there was a lot of songs I felt like, yo, your voice could go perfect on this, and we started off doing like little cameos because like I said, my brother patented himself after like Pharrell. So if you listen to a lot of Pharrell's music, he'll put his voice on songs, but he won't be credited and he won't necessarily, unless you have a good ear for it, you really won't catch it.
Mm-hmm.
So my brother would do something like that, and then I was like, "Yo, F it, why don't you just get on the whole hook? Why don't we do this? Why don't we do that?" And it birthed to what we became today. 20 years later.
That's something I noticed about you guys' music, that you put an imprint on it. Like I can hear it. I can hear, I can feel the family. I always tell people when it comes to music, especially when people collaborate, you can hear who's genuinely friends or family. You can hear it in the words and the energy. When you hear the right mix of the lyrics with the beat, or you hear people trading back and forth, you can hear it. Like if somebody don't really rock with each other, you can hear they just concocted it and just threw it out there. But when it comes to y'all, I can hear the friendship. I can hear like the vibe and the beat and the flow, just the trade, the whole nine. I can just hear it, man. And you brought up something good, and I'm gonna ask both of y'all, what are some of the inspirations? I heard a couple of them, but like not just inspirations in terms of people, also inspiration in terms of sound, because our foundational Black American hip hop has came so far. We talked about it the other day, Sage, how hip hop moved around and it migrated and it started becoming this
correct
mixing of everything. What are some of the sounds? I asked you first, Brother Juan. What are some of the sounds that you like to incorporate that just kind of came with you as you got older?
The main thing, and you can hear it in our music, is melodies and harmonies. Them things, them voices and them sounds and them chords and how they mesh together. That it just I love it. I can't express it enough. And you can hear it in our music. Just the sampling, like because you can hear it in everything you hear in our music is basically what we get, like sampling on the harmonies and the melodies, the lyrics, life experiences, like real life stuff that we dealing with, and we expressing it in our music. Yeah, there's people out here who do the bad things and do the crazy things, and they talk about that, but that's not what we do. We talk about our life and our experiences. We're not sitting here lying to you about what we do or what we did. it's basically our life. Like this is what we giving it to you on wax.
What about you, brother Sage?
Same thing. Same thing. Again, I want to inspire people. So I try to look for sounds and look for like messages and songs that can inspire people to do something positive. Obviously, not nothing negative, but also want to speak truth to power while being on the song too. Instead of just making a song about clothes and money and women, why don't you talk about something that's substantial and something that can make people think? That's the music I grew up off of. I grew up again listening to Nas, listening to Tupac, and all of them had messages in their songs. However, you might feel about those two artists, there's probably not one song that they made that did not have some type of message in it. And then when you hear them speak, especially Pac, when you hear them speak like in interviews, you can see the passion in them, and you can see that they're trying to get a message across. And so I think that me and my brother complement each other on that, and that's how we've been able to sustain so long and be brothers, because outside of music we're actually genuine friends, so we've been able to like sustain so long with that because the message is pure. I mean, we come from similar backgrounds, and the message is very consistent between me and him. We want to get the same message across.
It's authentic.
What? Yeah, hey, that's it right there. That's the word. Y'all music is so authentic. And one of the, I think the misconceptions back in the old days is that people can't put messages in the songs and have it still upbeat, up tempo, and with a flow. They always kind of feel like they had to bring it down and do some choir stuff. But in reality, when I listen to y'all music, I'm getting the whole vibe. I'm getting it all. I'm getting crisp, up tempo, fresh. The words, the sounds, the rhythms, like you said, Brother Juan, the rhythms is thick. They smooth at the same time. It's a lot of different, as they say, flavors all in one sound. And it's just a mix of it all. And that's what I like. Because I think one time I can sit back and I can hear a message, but I'm sitting there nodding to it though. Nodding to it. So now my brain is working and my body's working. The body's got my rhythm pushing, and then the message got my mind going. That to me is the pinnacle of hip hop. So I salute both of y'all for that, because this is what I feel. Listen, I got another question. Since we're on board, I grew up listening to music from all over because I'm from the Midwest, so we get a little bit of everything. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to New York music, I want to ask you guys about the state of New York music, and I'm not necessarily just talking about a generational thing, because people always just be like the young, and no, I'm just talking about as a whole, like the state of New York. Because from the lot of people I listen to, I hear a lot of good people coming from New York. Because I know in New York, you can walk down the street and you might see somebody standing on the corner, and he's as nice as anybody you ever heard in your life, like super nice. And some of these people never get out there to the world. Sometimes the world never hear it, but people who've been in New York, they hear it. What are some of the sounds that you hear from New York for over the last, I would say, decade and a half? When I hear from New York, I hear a lot of talented people, and I see the sound progressing more and more as we move into this world of technology, to where you can get all these platforms and just absorb everything. I'll ask you, Sage, and then I'll go to Juan.
Well, I've been very vocal on that. I think New York has a very unique sound when it comes to music alone, not just hip hop, but music alone. We have a very unique sound. I think every part of this country, whether it be the Midwest, Chicago rappers don't sound like New York rappers. West Coast rappers don't sound like New York rappers. Houston rappers don't sound like New York rappers. Atlanta rappers don't sound like New York rappers. So I think that when you talk about New York, there's a lot of talent that I think on purpose is not being groomed or not being signed and put out there to the masses. I don't know if it doesn't fit the agenda of what they're trying to push, but I don't want to get that deep with it. I think that New York has always been very authentic with its sound. You have some of the younger generation that like mimic other sounds throughout the country. For example, like my brother Juan brought this up. The drill sound, obviously we took it from Chicago, Midwest, but they put a twist on it. So what's her name? Ice Spice's drill music may not sound like Chief Keef's drill music exactly, but it's still drill music, So New York has always been big on creating its own sound and its own twist on things. So again, what we'd like to do is just like to keep it very authentic to us. Very like we don't really want to become complacent and try to fit in on what's going on with today's pop culture. I'd much rather like stay true to myself because I feel like that's the way that we can create the best music possible.
Much respect. What about you, brother Juan?
Yeah, this day and age is music has shifted in New York a little bit. I feel like a lot of people are just searching for everybody to sound the same, but then you still got people in the underground that's still giving you that heavy sampling, that hardcore, straight from the street vibes. It's still here, but it's just not as put on on the front street as much as like the drill stuff and all the stuff that people want to dance to. I guess it's just becoming a little like party-ish. All the young kids want to have fun and just dance, I guess. But it's still people here that's still talking that real stuff, that's still talking truth to power, that's still with the heavy sampling and the hard bass lines and just the epicness of what we used to do. It's still here, but I feel like what we bring is a mixture of both. We ain't gonna give you the drill records. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna give you that hardcore, that stuff that we like to talk about. You know what I'm saying? With fresh sounds, great melodies, just real pureness.
That's what
We
I like.
giving you that new New York, yeah.
That New York.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
that's why I be trying to tell people. I said there's so much, but really the whole country is
Yeah.
so, the whole country, East Coast, West Coast, down south, up north. There's so many new sounds, and like you guys said, sometimes we got to peel back the layer from what they put in front of us. But once you kind of look behind that, man, there's some people out there getting it. What's some guys up there in upstate? Benny the Butcher and them guys, Conway.
Yeah.
They come heavy, and my people in Ohio rock with them heavy.
Yeah.
You may not hear them get spins 24/7, but they got good heat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they got a good fan base.
Yeah, they got.
They got a little bit of that 90s fire to them.
Yeah, and that's what I love. I love when you hear people that got and I feel you guys do this real good, where you got a classic sound for the new age on it. It sounds new age with the classic. Once again, I'm getting all the vibes from the songs. Matter of fact, I want to talk about the new single right now, Choices, because when I listen to that, I don't know. I want to either go to Hawaii or Puerto Rico. I might want to go, what I'm saying, California. You know what I'm saying? Might want to go Ohio and just sit on top of a high rise and chill out, man. It gives me 100 different. It all depends. It's all good mood music. It's mood music to me. And it works my mood. If I'm feeling some type of way, I can listen to that record. And I have been. It uplifts me. Down here, it's always like 99 degrees and sunny. And that feels like 99 degrees and sunny. So y'all hitting and giving me in the deep south that strong vibe. So it lets me know that it is international and it's bringing that real sound to the world. But the new record, though, when you guys crafted that record, first and foremost, it's amazing. It's a great song. I want everybody.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate that. Thank you.
All day, man. I want everybody to go download it. And I want you to do it ASAP, like right now, okay? Make sure you download the record. This record is pure fire, foundational Black American heat. And I'm telling you right now, if you are feeling any type of way, that song will lift you all the way up and you're going to start walking with your chest out and your head to the sky. And that's what we ask for when it comes to this real good music from great artists like my two brothers. So I want y'all to download it. But I wanted to ask you guys, and I'll ask you, Brother Sage, when y'all crafted this record, what were some of the vibes that you guys were capturing naturally? Because I know a lot of the music is just natural. Like you said, Brother Juan, it's authentic. Did you know you had one? Or was it hit? Because sometimes you make a record and you're like, that's gonna be it. Sometimes you can make a record like it's hot, and then everybody else tells you, no, that's it. When you made it, what was the vibe in the studio? What was the vibe just when you crafted it? Was y'all looking at each other like, brother, we done hit a home run? You know what I'm saying? How was it to you, Brother Sage?
Well, to take you back to the foundation, no pun intended, of the hit, when you look at that artwork, that's the balcony that the song was written on. So, well, first of all, shout out to my brother Tony and Rain for designing that artwork. Salute to that brother. That's the balcony that was actually on. That when you look at that situation. So, what I wanted to say with that is that my brother had to be, obviously, because my brother, with the production, my brother had the beat first. It was more of a feeling that he had. I remember him doing because what we do, our process is we'll do a voice note. We'll basically, he'll send me a voice note, yo, this is what I'm thinking, this is the direction, this is the concept. And then I'll take that and then run with it. And then when I'm running with it, we'll meet up after the fact. So he'll send me like a concept, and then we'll split up. After we split up, we'll come back together. When we come back together, we'll see exactly what each other wrote, and then we'll see if it fits together. Now, with this beat, did we know that we had something? The feel was just right, and again, it was we was at such a high at that point, just in life, and we write everything from experience. So, do we feel like we had something? I would say yes, because of how the song came about. This genuineness of the song coming about and what we spoke about upon, when recording the song. So yeah, I think we felt like we had something. I just hope that the family enjoys it as much as we enjoyed writing it.
Yes,
Brother,
sir. Like he said, just we created that, and like you were saying that it's all about a feeling. At that time, we had a specific feeling where we was located. And we try to capture that with every record that we do, especially with this record. We try to capture that feeling. So when you close your eyes, you could possibly feel the way we felt when we was creating it.
Oh, I knew it. Hey, when I first heard, first off, Sage, I've been hitting you up. I'm like, brother, I'm ready. I'm ready to throw it in the car. I'm ready to turn that volume all the way up. I'm ready to just drive down the neighborhood and have people looking and pointing and stuff. I'm trying to have somebody give me a sound ordinance. I want somebody to tell me to turn it down. It's going to be so loud.
Yes, sir.
The anticipation, let me tell this to the family, and I mean this, you can quote it like I spoke it. The anticipation I had for the record was sky high. The feeling I had after I heard the record was beyond sky high. I was like, oh, you want to talk about
much love, man.
Brother, hey, just like you talked about with Terrence Crawford. When you called it he was going to win that fight, brother, and you told me he's like, he going to win?
Yeah.
All right? That's how I feel.
And I told you how he gonna win too. I told you how he was gonna win
yes,
too.
You did. Yes, you did. A short little story for the family. This man told me that Terrence Crawford was gonna win. He told me how he was gonna win, and he even predicted like the rounds and shit. I was like, this man, goddamn. That's how I felt with the record. I feel like it was like the knockout. That's what it was. It was, when we were younger and we'd be waiting on a new record to come out, and then you wait for that first single. You waiting for it. And you like, let's hear it. And then when you hear that single, you go, damn, they did it. Damn, they really, really did it like that. I was actually playing the song the other day, and one of my little homies came up, and he was just walking up the street, and he walks up to me every day he come through, and he just rolls up, and he starts hearing it as he getting closer to me, and he started nodding like that, and he gave me the dopest shit ever. Y'all know how somebody say, yo, who that? And I was like, that's my man. I was like, that's my man's right there. So he was nodding to it, man. So that's the feeling to everybody. So that's what I love. Let me ask another question, because I'm enamored with this record, family, straight up and down. Let me ask you guys this question though about the record. Okay, so when it was crafted, matter of fact, this is specifically for you, brother Juan. When you crafted the record, what was like the process? Did you get a feeling? Did you catch something with your ear? Because the beat flow, it just goes through. The beat sounds like the feeling when you hear an actual, like when you hear the ocean going, when you hear the ocean breeze, and it's a consistent, no breaks, it's no chops, it's no nothing. It's just a straight smooth. It sounds like smooth air coming through the room. What was the vibe when you caught that, family, and then you start to really lay down the tracks one by one by one?
Oh man, I started to lose it because like once I hear the chords and then I hear the melody, I just start hearing melodies. It's almost like the song is talking to me, and I'm just telling you what the song is about. So I'm just telling you what I'm hearing. That's how I felt when I heard it. So when I'm doing it and I'm creating it, I'll get this one word like choices. I feel like I should be saying choices on it. And then we just kind of build on that. So it's like knitting a sweater. Once you hear one melody, and then I had the hook, and then Sage is like, yeah, that's it. And then we just like parted ways like the sea. And the next thing you know, we come back and it's just like a crazy feeling how it went down.
Sage, when you hear a beat like that, brother, when you hear a beat like that, I know that just gets you up, family. You ready to go in and get in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? Get in the pocket of the beat. How'd you feel, brother, when you knew like it was laid out for you, and this time just go ahead and hit him with the 1-2, brother? How was the writing process to that record?
Well, as an artist, what I always tell one is like, listen, don't change nothing. Keep that the way it is. Keep the the hook the way it is. Keep the beat the way it is. Keep everything the same. Don't change nothing, because he's one of those people that'll go in and change something about it. You know what I mean? But just to try to refine it or, make something sound more brighter. But I'm like, listen, this has to sound exactly the way it is right now. You said it sounds breezy. Again, that's all we felt when we were on that balcony. That's all we felt was breezes from the Pacific Ocean. So when you're working on something, like that, it has to be right. The feeling is there. The feeling is all right, and everything just comes together as if, like my brother said, like it's as if it's a puzzle. You put one piece, and the next piece makes sense. Now the third piece makes sense. Now the fourth piece, it all comes to you. And I think that's how this all unfolded. It all unfolded within a good, honestly, maybe 40 minutes from start to finish.
Wow.
And then once we got back to New York, we was able to, meet up with our engineer and put it on wax and see how it sounds. And I think it came out fairly well, I must say.
That's one of the things about the record that stands out to me, man. It's so crisp. It's so fresh. I mean, every single aspect of it, from the rhythms, the beats, the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, the ins and outs, everything about it is so fresh to me. You know what I'm saying? It's got that real thing. That's why, like you were saying, Brother Juan, the authenticity of the record stands out. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest with you, I ain't heard a record in a long, long time that really takes me on that ride. I love music that takes me on rides. You know what I'm saying? From start to finish. Like, I know by the time it starts, I'm going to be here. And by the time it ends, I'm going to be here. But it's all going to be up. And that's kind of what the record me when I listen to it. It just gives me that strong vibe. Now, in terms of the single, I want to talk about the rest of the record that you guys are, ready to unload. What are some of the sounds? What can people look forward to when the record drops? Because I know the Certified Foundational Black American, BLACK, Black Alpha Network. I know all of us going to tap in. I know all the listeners and all my subscribers going to tap in. What are some of the things you can look forward to when the record drops, Brother Juan?
You're going to hear different shades of us. You're going to hear that truth being spoken. You're going to hear us telling you about some romance that we involved in, or we're going to tell you about, just life experiences about what's going on. And you're going to hear sampling. You're going to hear jazz influence. You're going to hear just I don't want to give away too much, but it's definitely a lot of jazz in it. That's all I can say.
And it's very controversial. So we have songs on it.
Yeah, we got song titles that's
I heard a little sneak peek about some of that.
Yeah, I don't know if a major was behind it. I don't know if they would want us to change the name of some of these records.
And even the message in some of these records, we would not be able to release it if a major was behind it. Some of these records, but we like to speak truth to power, and these words need to be said, especially for our people. They need to be said, and the album it's going to take you on a journey. I'm going to go on record now and say there will not be any skips on this album, because if you skip something, you're going to miss something. So, what I would say is that, it's coming. Without giving away too much, I say give us 3 months, and then you have the whole project out, and then the world can consume it. Hopefully, I hope they feel the same way about it as we felt making it. And that's all I can say.
Oh, I know the
but
family.
It is very jazzy. And it sounds it sounds like you said earlier, classic but new school. Because again, we're not inspired by the new artists so much. We're inspired by them artists from the 90s and the early 2000s. We're not really inspired by these artists up today at all. I know me, for one, I don't even listen to the radio, so I don't really know what's going on out there, and I do that on purpose. I don't want to listen to that because I feel like it'll take away from me being me, and you don't want to blend in and sound like other people. You want to know what's going on, but you don't want to mimic that sound. I want to stay uniquely to what we call ASIS.
I like hearing that, family. I always tell people, like, the era that you mentioned, fam, that's pretty much regarded as the golden era of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? People will pretty much say that. But, we were children of the golden era. So that's why I always tell people, I was like, those children from the golden era grew up to be men and women now. You know what I'm saying? So where a lot of these people right now, they came after that. We know what it's like to been a part of the golden era and to be looking up at it. You know what I'm saying? To be watching the greats come through. So now when we start building and we start drawing inspirations from that golden era, we get the inspirations from that time frame because we were young coming up. But our experience was after that because we were still evolving and growing up as people. So that gives you that new, that old, that classical with that nowadays. And that's a completely different, you know what I mean? And that, to me, that is the quintessential building block to when you're dealing with making a supreme record, when you're dealing with making great music that captures the times. One thing I did want to ask you guys, when it comes to, music and crafting music, is it therapeutic to you guys to write, to make beats, to craft songs? Or does it take you away to a place where, you can just go somewhere? Because I know anytime that I've ever did anything musically, I can almost lock myself in. Matter of fact, I seen some of y'all studio pictures and y'all locked in, dialed in, like in the zone. You know what I'm saying? I could tell the cell phones was off. Don't call me. I'll hit you up later on. Where does it take you guys therapeutic? You tap into that because y'all know Foundational Black American, as they say, it's more than music with us. It's a lifestyle. It's a soul. That's what soul music. We created that term. No one else can say. Anybody out there, let's go for all the people out there that's saying they created hip hop, all the people in Puerto Rico and Jamaica and all around the world. If you ain't got soul in your stuff, then you ain't really created it, okay? These brothers make soul music. And don't get soul music twisted. That is just some 1970s Motown stuff, okay? We're all products of that, and they were products of the people before them. I believe you said it before, brother. One of our spaces, you said if you weren't in them fields back in the day and your ancestors don't go back to the fields, then you don't have that soul. And it went from those fields and then it grew out to the streets and then it went from New York and the South and the Midwest and the West Coast all across the board, but it was all foundational. How does it feel when you guys soul into the music? And where does that take you guys mentally, physically, spiritually, mind, body, and soul? I'll ask you that, Brother Juan.
It takes me to a place of like I feel at peace. Like I'm able to lock in. I'm able to just be my creative self and not have to worry about conforming to anything. I'm able to just express myself the way I want and not have to worry about how it may turn out. And the way my mind works is I can't stay in the same place. Like I can't hear the same thing constantly. I become bored of it. You know what I'm saying? I get exhaustion from it rapidly. And I like to just stay creative and just be me and authentic to me and just create music. Is that it gives me that peace, that therapy that I need to express myself.
Same to you, Brother Sage.
I have to second that. Music has always been my escape. Whether it started from writing poetry, to writing rhymes. Now, music has always been my escape. So when I, write a song, it does take me to another place because it's like you get to be creative. And I think that's a lot of us have that in us. We have that in our bones. We want to create. I've always been a writer, so it like reaches another part of my soul when I'm able to write and actually send a message to someone, except like just speaking to them rather than speaking to them, I'm able to write, and then send my message through that. So I love to do that. It does take me to another place in which is like serenity and it's just pure.
That's that soul, family. And I love hearing that. I love hearing that from artists because that just lets the individual know that energy can be transferred through the records. So when the artist is feeling it and they putting their soul into it, you hear it. That's what I was explaining when I was talking about the record choices, which is phenomenal. When I was talking about that record, that's where it takes me. It gives me the energy. I feel the same energy you guys were saying. As you said, Brother Sage, when you make it, I hope the fans feel the same way you did when you made it. And I can go ahead and compliment that, brother, because I was feeling that way. But I want to have a little fun, man. I want to ask you guys a couple questions in regards to hip hop. I ain't asked them this before offline, y'all. These are all off the cuff right here. Y'all know on the Black Ops Network. Sage know, man, when it come here, man, I don't tell nobody nothing. I just say, hey, man, y'all want to come through? And then we'll just freestyle it. So it's fitting that we're going to freestyle some questions real quick. you know, in regards to hip hop, but we're gonna keep it all foundational Black American. We're gonna keep it all within music, and it's all gonna lead back to the record choices by my two brothers right here, ASIS. Y'all make sure, again, for the 100th time, make sure y'all download it when the record drop. I'm gonna have these two brothers come through, and we're gonna do a whole thing where we're gonna play the record, listen to some songs, let people hear it, and then let everyone know that the music is coming, and we're gonna have a real thorough breakdown of it. But let me ask you a question, Brother Say.
Yes,
I'm gonna ask Brother Juan, if you could work with one artist in hip hop of all time, anyone, they could be gone, they could be here still. Who would it be? And I need one, because you know I be asking people questions. Give me one. They be like, "Well, I gotta give you three. That ain't one." Give me one, because if it's 2, 3, 4, then the question ain't tough. Can I
only had to give you one?
Can I take Tupac out of it? Can I say anybody except Pac? I know how you feel about Pac.
That's fine. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. That makes it easy on me. That makes it easy on me. Okay. So that'll be Nas then.
Nas.
That will be Nas. I got to meet him. I got to sit with him. I got to speak with him. I would love to do a record with him, and then just, you know, still sharp and still. So I would love to compare where I'm at to where he's at. And the only way I feel like you can do that is if you get in the ring with a person. So I would love to do that. I would love to get on the song with him, see what he comes up with, see what I come up with, you know, and because that's the person, you know, that inspired me to write anyway. So I would love to, you know, be in the ring with him and just see how, you know, it would turn out.
Ooh, hey, I can see it now. ASIS featuring Nas. Nas, if you're listening, brother, I need you to tap in, man. Hit up Black Alpha Network. We'll make it happen. My two brothers right here with Nas on the record. My brother Juan be down. My brother Sage and Nas trading. Are you kidding me? That is literally the golden era and the children of the golden era in the new era putting it down. So Nas, if you're listening, somebody at Nas. Get the record right now. Choices. Y'all at Nas, and you tell Nas to make it happen, man, because we'll do that B.I.G. style. What about you, brother Juan? If you could work with anybody, and I know, see, I'm trying to remove some, but I'm removing for real.
I'd definitely pick Pete. If I could work with anybody, dang, it would probably be, if it ain't, it would probably be Kanye, just to pick his brain, just to sit down and understand his techniques of sampling, and just to study what he does. It would definitely be Kanye for me.
Kanye's a genius, man. Kanye, I'll be trying to tell people, Kanye is a genius. Musically, Kanye is a genius. I go back and listen to some of those early records, like really the whole Blueprint record that he did for Jay.
Yeah, man.
He was on one.
He was in his bag at that. Just to pick his brain and just to see his techniques and just to catch a vibe. I know we would make a great record. It would be crazy.
And now that record, y'all make a record together, I'm definitely gonna give me a couple of tickets. They're gonna give me tickets. They're like, no, that's too loud, man. You waking up babies in the neighborhood, fam. Turn that off. All right, I got more questions for you, brothers, man. And it's all taking it back to the music. And you know, we taking it back to the music, family. That's what we're doing right now, because I know in this era today, a lot of people are really in it for the glitz and the glamour. They're not in it for the artistry. There's a few people out there that are really in it for the artistry. And if you really notice, the ones who are really making artistic music, those are the ones who really sell the most and stay around. There's this notion that these people who be on the radio all the time, they're the heavy hitters. In reality, no. You hear somebody on the radio and then they'll sell like 5K. They won't really sell nothing. But you start looking at people like the Kendricks and the J. Coles. These people are pushing records and they star. So the misconception that the music ain't selling is a lie. My brother Dewan B was just talking about how he went to a festival out there in California, and it was a bunch of old heads, and it seats 18,000 people, and they put 16,000 people in it over a whole weekend of the festival, where you got some of these other artists that are of the new era, and their tours are being canceled because they can't sell tickets. You know what I'm saying? So real music is alive, and it's just like everything we always say. It's just no different than being a foundational Black American or being certified. It's really about being loud and boisterous and letting the world hear it and putting it out to the world and not sitting back and actually bringing it. And that's what I love about you guys and I love about y'all music, is that it's coming to me. It's coming to me, straight at me. That's another vibe I talk about. It's got that feel of that breeze, and that ocean is also something that pops out. It just jumps at me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know when we was young, when the song jumped out at you, it was your ever.
Yes, sir.
That's how I feel about the record. I want everybody out there, like I said, to go download it. And when you listen to it, you're going to sit there and agree with everything I'm saying, that the record really jumps out. It's crisp and it's fresh and authentic, and it grabs you from start to finish all the way through. My next question would be, and I'm going to start with you, Brother Juan. If you were, let's just say you was on an island somewhere, brother, and you could bring one record with you. You can't bring no other albums, no nothing. You got one record for the rest of your life, family. Who would it be? And it could be hip hop, it could be not hip hop. But what would it be if you just had that choice where it's like, I'm taking one? Let me give you my answer before I do. Sage, I know it's wrong because I won't allow you to use Tupac, but I'm going to use Tupac. So I'm shooting a little bit, family. So to me, I'm taking All Eyes on Me by Pop, double disc. You know, so I'm getting 32 records on there. And like you guys were saying, and it go back to the point where, like you guys said, the music has a message in it, and it takes you somewhere based on the message and the artistry. So that's why I would say, for me, it would be All Eyes on Me. And number two, since everybody knows that I am the DMX of the new black media, I'm also going to take It's Dark and Hell. My dog. I got to go with the dog on that one, too. So it's going to be one of those two right there. What about you, Brother Juan? One record.
It would probably be Notorious B.I.G. Life After Death. I would definitely take that double death. I feel like I get everything. That's probably one of my favorite albums. It definitely would be that. Yeah, I get everything I need off that album.
I had that on heavy rotation like a month ago. I was calling my brother. My brother like, "What you been listening to lately?" I was like, "I've been listening to a lot of Big, yo." I was listening to like heavy, man. That's a great record, man. Going back to Cali, Sky's the Limit. Man, Big was on one. That to me feel like somebody who was there. Like that was like it's like somebody at the Super Bowl and touchdowns left and right. Big was on it with that one. Good choice, family. What about you, Sage?
It's a hard one for me, so I gotta give you two. I'm sorry, brother. I would do either Me Against the World by Tupac, Me Against the World, or Illmatic by Nas.
Yeah. Illmatic was probably gonna be up there for me, and Me Against the World too, because that's definitely my favorite Tupac song of all time.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people feel that Me Against the World was his better album, actually. Like in terms of critically acclaimed, a lot of people feel that album was better than All Eyes on Me. All Eyes on Me, I feel had more glitz and glamour to it, but I feel like Me Against the World had more just, and like the record, like you saying, Juan, that the actual title song, Me Against the World. Oh,
yeah.
That
song was amazing, man. Yeah, man.
Still to this day, I listen to that, man, all the time.
In a lot of ways, you know, and I want to say this to you two brothers. In a lot of ways, the records that we just named here, we named Tupac, All Eyes on Me, Me Against the World, Nas, Illmatic. We talk about Biggie. Well, we bring it all the way around. I hear a lot of that in your guys' music, but with a nowadays touch to it, which makes it fresh and popping. I can hear it. Like I hear the difference influence, and like on top of that, the hip hop aspect, but then even beyond hip hop. But some of that I hear Kanye, I hear it all, but I hear it with a nowadays twist, which just makes it amazing to me. Let me ask this one more fun question, because I want to definitely ask more about the record coming up. If you guys could hear a collaboration between two artists, excluding yourselves, if you could hear a collaboration with two artists, and I got to give you mine, brother. Mine is what you just said right there. I always wanted to hear Tupac and Nas because I feel they brothers, and I feel the beef got in the way, but I feel Pac and Nas, they brothers, man. They should have made a record together. And
that almost happened though.
Go ahead, tell the story.
That almost happened according to Nas. It almost happened. It was supposed to happen because here in New York, when Pac came out here with the whole Death Row East campaign, he met up with Nas in Bryant Park, and that night where Pac was actually on film saying, you know, promoting Death Row East, when he was out here with Suge and all of that. That night they actually met up. I believe that was after like the MTV Awards or something, and they realized that they didn't really have no problem. They are brothers. They're both foundational. Why are we beefing with each other if we don't have to? You know what? How about we do a song together? And that's exactly what was supposed to happen had Pac made it back from Vegas. But unfortunately, you know, he didn't make it back from Vegas.
Man.
And that's why when Nas, that's why when all those diss songs that Pac did against Nas, when those songs came out, Pac was already gone. And Nas thought that he was not going to respond to any of that. not just that, because he knew what he said to that man face to face, and he knew that their beef was done. It was just the people after that controlled the music in Death Row that released those songs. But if it was up to Pac, according to Nas, Pac would never release those songs. He assured him that none of those songs would be released.
Damn,
But
that
6
close.
days later, he yeah.
Damn.
Unfortunately.
That's one of the stories in hip hop. I've heard somebody say before that we have to praise, and it doesn't get enough praisal, that you had Nas and Pac, and then they squashed it like men.
Yeah.
And
nobody speaks about that. No one
nobody
speaks
talk about it.
We got to
talk about the BS, but yeah, man,
that's what sells according to these people. Them squashing it don't do nothing.
Facts.
And if you listen to Nas speak about it and Napoleon Muta, they speak about it all the time that night in Bryant Park over here. How Death Row had people with weapons, and Nas had people with weapons, and Nas and Pac stepped aside and they had a conversation. And they realized we don't have an issue with each other. It was just a misunderstanding. My bad.
Damn.
You good? I'm good. All right. I'm gonna holler at you when I get back from Vegas. And yeah. But it's still a beautiful story because, again, it shows you that we can come together and have a common ground, and we can move forward in life. We don't always have to harm each other, and that's what's beautiful about that story.
That's one of the things I love about you guys' music. Like I was saying earlier, I can hear y'all brotherhood in the records. I can hear it in the records. It doesn't sound like two people that are just mailing each other tracks from two sides of the world. It sounds like two brothers right there that the music just makes it right there. And shout out to Muta, by the way, bro. Muta, we gotta get you on here,
yeah,
man. I gotta get Mu on here. And Nas too. Shout out to Muta. He a real one. All day long. But to the question, fam, who would you take? Like, if you could hear a collabo with two people, I say Pac and Nas right there. And it don't have to be hip hop, but if you could hear that dream collaboration, foundational Black American excellence. Tough one.
I'm gonna pull something out the blue. And I'm not gonna bring up my two favorites, of course. I'm gonna pull something out the blue. I'm gonna say
that's a tough
Ray Charles, and I'm gonna say Ray Charles and Andre 3000.
Damn.
If I can hear those two do something together, I think that'll be. And they're both from Georgia, Atlanta at that. No, I think he's from another part of Georgia, Ray Charles, but I know Andre's from Atlanta. Yeah. If those two sounds, I think it'll be amazing.
Damn. Brother, you done pull that one out, family. That shit got me over here wanting to hear that right now.
Like, you try to figure out how that would sound.
Because that's the metaverse. What about you, brother?
Can I choose an artist and a producer?
Yeah, that's dope. Yep.
I would love to see Michael Jackson work with Pharrell. That would have been something I'd have been able to see. They was close to doing it, the Neptunes, but it just ain't work out. I would have loved to hear Pharrell do something for Mike.
Hit records. Hit. What people might as well just clear their schedule with that drop. That's number one, and that's staying number one.
I'd have loved to hear that, man.
That's what I love about our people, and what I love about our sound is that it's so diverse and multifaceted, but you can still hear the core in it. Some of the regional stuff it's cool to a degree, but at the same time, I think it's dope because we all have a common core. You could, like you just said, you could listen to Pharrell and Michael Jackson. You can listen to Ray Charles and Andre 3000 and Nas and Pac, and we all brothers, we all sisters, we all can connect. And that's what really makes it tight, is that you got somebody who's representing New York City, and then you got another person who's representing Detroit or Cleveland or Raleigh, North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? It all brings us together as one. And speaking of bringing us together as one, I seen y'all in y'all show, man. I want to know, what can we expect from an ASIS show? Because I'm telling you, I'm coming to New York City. Trust and believe, me and Queen Alpha, we will be in New York. She's from Brooklyn, so we're going to definitely have to pull it, man. I want to know what we can expect from a show.
Shout out to the Queen, man.
Shout out, sister. I said, what can I do to get on stage? When the niggas perform, they got 100 niggas on. I just be the nigga right there. Like who that nigga with the damn hat on? Just nodding. I look like Black Alpha. It is. It is. What can I expect from the show, man? I'll start off with you, Brother Juan, because I'm telling y'all, man, these brothers, the same way they put the energy in the studio, they put the energy on stage, man. They go with them everywhere they go, man. That's the thing about these brothers.
Yes,
They
sir.
live,
Yes, sir.
they don't turn the switch on and off. It's who they are, and they bring it with them 24/7, 365. What can we expect from a show, brother? So we catch you guys in our cities, and we can pull up, turn up, man. What's it like?
Oh, you going it's full of energy. You're gonna hear what you hear on the record, you're gonna hear live. You're gonna hear how the music sounds, you're gonna hear knocking, you're gonna feel them drums in your chest, you're gonna hear all of that. And you're gonna also hear us just rapping. You're gonna hear us rapping and singing on records without having our records in the background playing behind us. You know what I'm saying? We don't need those to be lip syncing or whatever.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
We're gonna have our records just straight, like how it's supposed to be done. And you're gonna have a good time. You're definitely gonna have a good time and turn up.
Oh yeah. Definitely a lot of energy. Not DMX energy, but definitely a lot of energy that we like to do in the show. You're gonna see me get naked, as you see. You're gonna see us, sweating. I like to go into the crowd a lot in the shows. I know it could be somewhat dangerous, but I like to go into the crowd and just get a feel for the people because I want you to feel exactly what I'm feeling on that stage. I want you to feel that release, that rush that I'm feeling. So um, we didn't do our jobs if we're not sweating, at the end of the show. And I learned that from DMX. That's a quote from him.
Super solid, super solid. When you guys
And
perform
you can
together,
even see in this picture
what's
too,
like?
brother. Sorry to cut you off. You see in this picture too, the DJ's even up, dancing and going
He's
crazy.
standing on the table.
Yeah, he's standing
Hey,
on
I
the damn
picked up on
table.
that.
So,
I was like, man, ain't a dull moment there.
yeah, man.
Everybody's turn. Everybody's turned up. Hey, what's the feeling in the morning when you wake up and you know you got a show? I always felt that was something I always wanted to experience. I never had a chance to. Like, what's the feeling when you get up? Is it anticipation? Is it butterflies? Is it nervousness? Some people say if you ain't nervous, it ain't right. But then some people say it's just like clockwork. What's the feeling when you guys wake up in that hotel and y'all know it's showtime tonight?
I'm nervous.
Yeah, it's a little nerve. It's a little nervous, but I like to chill and just pace myself. I give me a little drink. I just be chilling, just get my mind right. I just like to clear my mind and just be relaxed. And because I know once you get on stage, all that disappears.
Yep.
It's just gone immediately.
And what I like to do too is, again, yeah, the butterflies are there absolutely, but it's no different from getting on the stage in a space. You know what people expect from you. They expect you to show up. They expect you to do your job. They expect you to perform, and that's what we do. That's what we want to do. That's where my heart is. That's where my love is. So I'm not going to let you down in that sense. I'm going to perform, and I'm going to show up, and I'm going to do what you expect me to do, and I'm going to get you involved in it as much as I'm involved in it. So again, with that situation, I think it's just something beautiful. It's something that, you know, um, I would disappoint myself if I felt like I didn't give you the show of your life because this might be your first or last time seeing me. So I like to look at it like that. Michael Jordan said he played every game like if it was someone in that arena last time ever watching him play or their first time ever watching him play. So you want to show up every single time. You want to give a show.
Man, I was watching, I was looking at some of the pictures and I seen some clips of y'all performing as well, man. And I was like, that's full energy, right? That's giving the people what they pay for. You know what I'm saying? And I'm very,
Yes,
I'm very captivated by that. You know what I mean? I'm very captivated by that because that's just something to me that stands all the way out, just in general to the whole aspect, to the whole lineage. And in terms of the lineage, I asked about the state of hip hop. Where do you guys feel the state of foundational Black American as a whole, our lineage, heritage, and culture? Where do you feel we are artistically? Where do you feel we're going? Where do you guys feel is like some of the next steps that we're going to be taking musically? Because I want to ask these brothers real musical questions because these brothers are true musicians, real musicians. You got rappers, you got singers, and then you got musicians who do it all, who have all that in them. So I want to ask, I'll start with you, Brother Juan. In terms of the lineage, how do you feel and where do you feel the music's heading? Because there's new sounds coming out all the time. Some people just get stuck on one sound forever because y'all know they don't stay around forever, right? They got a couple minutes. When Nas say they spit a sentence in the game and get rid of them, you know what I'm saying? So in terms of where do you what are some of the things you project like going forward? Because a lot of the stuff you guys make to me is cutting edge. It's cutting, it's new, and it's sooner or later. There might even be some folks in New York already who biting y'all sound. I'm just telling y'all now. So y'all hear somebody come out, they sound like my two brothers right here. Then you know it's in full effect and full swing. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all are on the forefront, and you guys are on the precipice of the new age. I promise that. But what are some of the things that you guys are saying that you like? What are some of the things that you like that's going on right now within the lineage of where we're at with music? Because you got Afro beats and all these other things that are coming in, all these little knockoff versions of us. But where do you feel our authentic music is, brother?
I think our authentic music is what I like and what I'm seeing from artists these days. They're working more together. Like that's like we seeing collaborations that we didn't get to see when we was kids. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this day and age, we probably would have got to see those collaborations with like Pop and Nas if it was now. You know what I'm saying? I feel like people are more freely wanting to do that and understand that it is a togetherness. And I also hear like the sound is kind of tapping back to the old stuff because there's a lot of people sampling what we've done not even that long ago, like 90s music. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So I feel like people still want to tap into that and still want to get back to that. And I feel like it's going to go back even further. And then people are going to start wanting to get those sounds. And of course, they got to come to us for that.
I think he threw a shot right there. But I think, again, like my brother said, the togetherness is much needed. When I heard 50 and Nas come together and do a song, people don't know how big that was for New York. You know, that was much needed. You know, and again, you know, it's beautiful to see those brothers come there, and you could just see 50 sound like he was in his essence again. Nas sound like he was in his essence again, and we missed 20 plus years of these guys working together. I'm so glad that, you know, maturity and time healed whatever issue that they had. You know, as far as our music, and we're rich in everything that we touch and everything we do. I think that we are the standard bearers for what's going to come next. Whatever sound is going to come next, it will come from foundational Black Americans. We have created this golden ticket that we call hip hop, and we're going to create something that's either similar to it or an extension of it within the next couple of years. As far as ASIS, I mean, we want to stay true to our sound and expand on it. You know, we don't necessarily want to make another person's sound. We want to keep our sound, but expand on it. And that's where I think we'll be heading in the next couple of years.
Sure.
That's what I love to hear, family. I love to hear that the progression. Where's y'all music progressed since when you guys first started? What are some of the things that have progressed with you guys? Because I know just technology has changed. So what was it like if I were to go and I would, you know what they say, get the lost tapes? You feel me? And I would go get the old mixtapes and stuff. Well, y'all remember we used to have to burn CDs and stuff?
Yeah.
Before the digital, if I went and found the burnt CD with the magic marker on it that said ASIS on it, what would I hear then?
Man, first of all, you wouldn't hear that. You ain't putting that out.
You would hear so much craziness. Because now, like just the knowledge of doing it for so long, you kind of gain a lot knowledge of like just structuring music and structuring the record. Back if you was to listen to them old things, you would hear just loops of beats. That's just one long loop, like 3 minutes of the same thing. You don't see a transition, you don't hear a transition. You don't hear the richness in the sounds and it being mixed. Some things is louder than the next thing. The hi-hat is louder than the snare. You wouldn't hear the things that you hear today, the quality of it and the knowledge of what we've learned over the years, and just, you know, teaching ourselves and studying the game. And it's come a long way. But some people might like it because we liked it back then. We loved it.
Well, first of all, like I said earlier, you're not going to hear that. If we ever do come out with that, I'm pressing like 30 copies and I'm selling them for like 30,000 each. No, because it's just not going to come out. But just the concepts of music and what we're talking about on the songs is so different from what we used to talk about. You know, a lot of our early songs were about like females,
Mm-hmm.
being far away from females, about like, having dreams about like, just things like that. But what we talk about now is more truth to power. We talk about stuff that we deal with on a daily basis. We talk about things that need to be heard. We want to create that soundtrack for the movement. I think these,
Mm.
me and my brother up here, Will, are on the cusp of and want to create the soundtrack for the movement. Um, and we open, and with that being said, I open the door for anyone to, you see the Twitter, going down on the bottom of the screen. I open the door for anyone to contact my brother, contact me, and let's do that. Let's create the movement. Let's create the sound of the movement. Let's create what Gil Scott, what my brother had. Let's create that. Um, let's work together and let's create a sound that is not rivaled by anyone else. Because I know how my brother works, I know how I work, and I know that we'll be genuine with it.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to ask that, brother, about the soundtrack to the movement, where every era was defined by certain records, where you can listen to a record and it truly takes you back in time. With the new records that you guys got coming out in the new album, without giving too much, are there things that you guys touch on that is indicative of what's going on now? Are there things that you guys touch on that's going to really put that fire behind people and let people know if someone was to pick up the ASIS new record that drops tomorrow, what ride are they going to go on socially in terms of our community? I ask you that, brother Juan.
Yeah, you're gonna hear about what's going on now, like unapologetically. You're gonna hear us saying exactly how we feel, exactly what's going on, not afraid to use that reparations word, not afraid to call ourselves black, not afraid to say that we still slaves.
Yes,
You're
sir.
not gonna hear, you're gonna hear all of that.
Yes, sir. I think my brother touched on it. I really don't have much to add. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what I love.
I think you touched it.
That's what I, man. This is what people been waiting on. It's really what the people been waiting on, and you guys have this rare talent of being able to do that, and then making the song sound so accessible to the mainstream.
Mhm.
It's got a touch to it to where you're gonna nod. Like I was telling you guys about my friend that pulled up. The immediately the sonics of it grabbed his ear, and then I could tell when he sat down. Then he's tapping into the words, and that's a talent. It's a talent to be able to get a message across, but doing it in such a fly way that people just grab a hold of it. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of fly, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all know right here on the Black Alpha Network, you know what I'm saying? We got to go there. You feel me? This is what I'm talking about, right?
Uh-oh.
When my man said that he be on there and he be turned up, when he said when you come see an ASIS show, you're going to have a damn good time and he going to be putting in that work. This my man right here. He letting it rock. He got the muscles flexing right there. And I'm going to tell you right now,
Oh my God.
know that energy is full 100. You ain't getting 85, 92, 91 in the third. No, that is the full 100. That's what we love right there, family. You remember that show? You remember that show particularly?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, that show was in Lower Manhattan. That was a show that we put together ourselves called SOS, Summer of Sam. And it was basically like, during the Summer of Sam, a lot of people were being murdered. So we just use that as an acronym because we wanted to murder the show, murdered all these tracks, and we wanted that to, that feeling to be spread upon the audience. We didn't want to murder anyone. We just wanted to murder the music. And
Yes,
I
sir.
think I think that night we definitely captured that feeling that night, definitely.
Yeah, it was monumental, man. That was the first show we put together ourselves. No openings, you know what I'm saying? Nobody else. We wasn't like at an open mic. That was just our show
Yep.
that we put together and we
Hmm.
sold tickets for. We had a line around the corner for.
Yep. Yep.
It was monumental. It was a big accomplishment for us because we didn't think we could pull something off like that.
Damn. I can see right there. I can feel the energy. I can look at this picture and see the energy. You ain't moving like that and doing that unless there's a lot of heavy energy in the room. And actually, you guys did touch on something I wanted to ask you. How does it feel and what's the vibe of being independent? Because we grew up in an era where we had to go through to these labels to get on, and then they can control what really gets put out to the people. Nowadays, you could press up something, you could put it on the platform, and then you could be a rocket overnight. You could blow up overnight, like I know the new Record Choices is going to do. And matter of fact, it already is. So the very fact that you can put out these records, what's the vibe of being an independent artist opposed to being someone who is tied and shackled to these record labels, that 360 deal people, and break them all down? And still, matter of fact, before I go there, Sage, explain to people what a 360 deal is, because a lot of people don't really know what that is, and they think you should just go on, and 360 is a thing to do. To a lot of the aspiring artists who may not understand, and I got a lot of young folks that listen to the Black Alpha Network, tell them what a 360 deal is, and then give us the other side of that, of being independent and controlling your own destiny, artificially on the label side, and authentic wise on the independent side.
So a 360 deal in layman's terms is basically where your record label owns everything you do. So if you're a music artist, they own your music. If you do movies off of your likeness and your name, they get paid off of that too. If you make clothing off of your likeness and your name, they get paid off of that too. And I believe shows also, they get paid off of that too. So everything that you do, 360 degrees, they get paid off of that. Your record label takes a cut out of that. Now, if you're independent, you don't get the luxury of traveling, overseas and doing shows in London and Japan and Australia, but you do have ownership to everything that you do. There is no boss over you telling you what you can't release and what you can release and when you can release it or when you can't release it. You really have ownership of everything that you do. And that's what we strive, to do. Again, we are currently independent artists. The music that we had specifically coming up on this album, a lot of the songs will not be allowed to be released. I promise you guys, because a lot of the things that we're addressing on this album, a lot of people will feel like it shouldn't be for public consumption. So again, we speak about, again, we say that R word that no one likes to say, reparations. We say that. We talk about slavery and modern day slavery and we touch upon everything that our people are going through. Whether you like it or not, it needs to be addressed. So that's something, again, that, and it's not just, and if you go to, our website, you can find songs up there, such as Black Hearted, songs up there like Kinda Love, songs up there that are deep songs that you can find, like, messages in. And when I say messages, I'm not talking about harming someone. I mean the message for you to think, use your mind, think. And that's what we want to get across for the public, just use your mind. You don't have to pick up a gun. I want you to be aggressive, but I want you to be aggressive and start thinking.
Yes, sir.
What about you, Brother Juan? How you feel about that, on being the independent and controlling your own destiny and your own intellectual properties, opposed to having somebody else trying to eat off of your plate? I know as a producer, that gives you so much more freedom to really, really tap into who you are.
Yep. That you use the word I was going to use. It's just freedom. I have creative control. I'm not, boxed in. I can say what I want. I can express exactly how I feel. I don't have to answer to someone about putting this out. Oh, will this work? Oh, will it sell? I don't think we could use it. I don't have to hear none of that. I could just express myself, put it out to the people. Whoever love it can get it. Whoever don't like it, don't gotta listen to it. But I'm pretty sure you're gonna like it because it's given to you in a way that you will love.
Facts. I remember one of the rappers, I think his name is Immortal Technique. I think he's from New York. Immortal Technique. He had explained it one time. He said, going through these record labels is because it's all a loan. They loan the artist. The artist has to pay all of that stuff back. So it's a loan. And the metaphor he gave, and I remember it was earth shattering to a lot of people who didn't get it. He said, it's like the bank giving you a loan for your house, but at least when you pay off the loan for your house, you own the house. To them, you pay off the loan for the record, but yet you don't own the record. They still own it. So you're basically getting a loan that takes you nowhere. You're getting a loan for property that you won't even actually have light at the end of the tunnel where you own it. So this is what I love, that you brothers are true independent. And when it comes to Bogart Records, how did that come about? First off, I heard that name and I was like, boy, that's cold. Boy, that's goddamn tight as hell. I like that. I'm always, because in hip hop, we come from the era, that label got it hit like Death Row Records. That's Cash Money, Bad Boy. Those names, No Limit, like these pop. What, how did that get formulated? How did that formulate? How did the name? Because I know sometimes it could be a tedious process to come up with that. But just in the general, how did the label form? Are there any other acts on the label? Who else rocks? Who else you guys collab with? Because I know you got some brothers that sang on them records. Tell me more about Bogart Records, how it came about, and then the brothers and sisters that you guys may collaborate, and other people that we could also, look forward to. I'll ask you that, brother Sage.
Okay, so this is a whole different segment in itself, the coming about of the label. So I'm gonna try to bring it down for like a good 2 to 3 minutes. So basically, me, my brother Chills, and my brother John, the one that I told you that inspired me to make music in the first place from poetry, we decided to just get together, us three, and just make music just for fun, just make music. So the name Bogart Records started there. Then I went to high school, and then I met with my boy Warren, who got on Bogart Records, and then we picked up 2 other acts, International Scumbags, consisting of Chapter Tay and Dusty Reynolds. We also linked up with a singer, my boy Karan. Shout out to him; he's probably in the chat. But yeah, so that's basically how it came about. So in total, besides me and Juan, I think it's about 3 other acts. I would say 3 or 4 other acts active on the label. You can actually go to the website too, and you can find their music too. It's not just ASIS music; it's actually everything that's under that Bogart Records umbrella. Every single, we have music on SoundCloud. We've collaborated with them too. We actually have a compilation album with them called Concrete Empire, and that's something that we all got together, all of us, me, Juan, INS, Chapter Tay and Dusty, my boy Q, Karan. We all got together and we all did a project, and I think it was like 6-7 songs long, and it just shows solidarity, and that's exactly how we work. That's all we want to do: show solidarity and just be one big happy family. We want to be like kind of like similar to like the next Wu-Tang, ASIS specifically wants to be like the next Outcast, but as Bogart Records, we want to be like the next Wu-Tang, where it's like 8-9 different acts that you just love all their music and you respect everything that they do. That's the aim that we plan on making that.
Man, y'all on the right path, I'll tell you that, because everything I've heard has been pure fire. And I can't wait to hear more of the collaborations with everybody all day, family, all day. Like I tell everybody, man, I was anticipating, and then it just completely went way above and beyond my anticipation, which was already high. So that's the type of stuff I love, man. Before we wrap it up, family, and I appreciate you 2 brothers for coming on, because you guys know, man, us foundationals, we stick together. And the music is the soundtrack to our lives. And I guarantee you right now that the music that you brothers make is going to be something that sticks with people forever. There's multiple people out there that it's going to be a record that's going to stick to them, and they're going to stay with it, and they're going to grow with the music as you guys grown as partners, as brothers, and just the music has evolved. There's going to be somebody out there, 13, listening to the record, and then they're going to be listening to it when they're 31. And there's going to be somebody who's 31, they're going to be listening to it when they're 51. And because that's the type of music that you brothers make. Like I said, the music is in us. And this is what I love about, what you guys are putting out there the most. And you guys are bringing a different energy, a different vibe, but it's strong and it's powerful. Everybody want to talk about Black empowerment. Okay. The music has to be empowering. And these brothers make very powerful, foundational Black American music. So I salute both of my brothers for putting it down. And I told y'all, we're going to bring them back on here and we're going to break it down. I'm going to have new questions too for y'all. You already know we're gonna have to bring out some new. and we're gonna have to tap all the way in. But you guys tell everybody where they can find you. Just anything that you guys want to let the family know before the single, takes off, because it's about to take all the way off, and then before the album drops. Anything you guys want them to hear and let them know what time it is. That's I'll send it to you, Brother Juan.
Well, you can find me on all social networks under One Nation Under, WON Nation Under. You know what I'm saying? You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, or it's X now, or whatever it is. I'm all over. You know what I'm saying? If you want to find our music, it's on all streaming platforms. Just type in ASIS, ASIS, or if you don't want to find it there and you just want to go to our website and look at our bios and just get every song that we've ever did, ever released, ever collaborated. It's on BogartRecords.com. That's BOGUARD Records.com. You can get everything there. Everything. Oh, and go download.
Same, you can find.
What about you, my brother?
Stream that.
Oh yes, absolutely. Go
Yes,
go
indeed.
download that ASIS, please stream that. Keep it on repeat. I appreciate that. You can find that on Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, wherever you stream your music at, you can find it there. You can find me on Sage Station on Twitter, X, whatever. You can find me on IG, call him Sage. Excuse me, call him.sage. You can find all of our music, again, all of it, at BogartRecords.com. You don't have to waste time, trying to figure out, what websites to go to. Just go to BogartRecords.com and you can find all of the music that we've ever released right then and there. And then it'll take you to whatever streaming service that you have. It's all connected right there.
Yes, sir.
Connected is the word, family. That's what I love. You just threw me an alley-oop, man. You just threw me the alley-oop. That's what it's all about. It's about being connected. You feel me? My brothers right here connected us with a masterpiece single, and then I know it's going to be a masterpiece album, and they're out here dropping real foundational Black American music, but the music is timeless, and the music is international. So it's just like everything foundational Black Americans do. It starts off right here in our backyard, and then it travels all the way around the world. And you guys already know my brothers right here, but be familiar, because we're going to definitely bring them back every single time new music drops. We're going to turn up, and we're going to let the whole world hear the vibe, man. Y'all make sure y'all download the record right there. You see it going across the bottom of the screen right there. Y'all make sure y'all download it. And when you download it, make sure you play it. And when you play it, make sure you turn it up to the maximum. Do that. Yes, and we all in it to win it, man. So with that said, man, I appreciate you brothers for coming through, man. Y'all know it's always love right here on the Black Alpha Network, man. And I'm about to go listen to the record even more here tonight. So you already know where I'm going to be at. But you guys, man, y'all stay good. Y'all stay strong, man. Y'all stay vigilant. Y'all stay safe. And y'all keep dropping that fire. Do that for me, my brothers.
Appreciate it, man.
Will do. Black first, brother.
Yes, sir.
Black first. Be moving.
I don't care what y'all think. If you whatever the fuck you think you are, and until we own some shit, I'ma call it like it is. How you gonna be a man and we starving? Go ahead. And you can walk by 5 different houses, ain't a man in either one of them motherfuckers. How we gonna be a man? How we gonna be African American?